So the other day, I got a chance to ask one of my good friends, Billy Loesch, 10 questions about his personal experience as a serial entrepreneur. Billy has founded 4 separate businesses, but for the purpose of this video, I will be asking him 10 questions about the very first business he opened, Baya Bar. Baya Bar is an acai smoothie brand that serves beautifully decorated smoothie bowls, as well as smoothies and fresh juices. Founded in 2016, the very first Baya Bar opened their doors in the busy neighborhood of Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Over the course of 4 years, Baya Bar has branched out to different neighborhoods in New York City and began their mission to be located nationwide, with stores in Kenner and Las Vegas as well. As of December 2020, Baya Bar does over $6 million annually across 10 stores and is still growing. Alright, that's enough intro. Let's go meet Billy and see what he has to say.
What's up, guys? Like Will said, my name is Bill Loesch, and I'm 30 years old. I got into the self-employed game when I was very young. I was selling things in elementary school, in high school, in college. That transitioned into getting into insurance and then Wall Street. I got a little bit lost along the way, and in 2016, decided to leave Wall Street. It was a career that I just wasn't happy with, and I found an opportunity to open an acai smoothie shop in Brooklyn, New York. Acai bowl shops were starting to get popular, but there was nothing in Brooklyn, New York, which is one of the biggest, best markets in the world. So I took advantage of it and opened up the first location in 2016. And now fast forward 4 years later, we're at 10 locations with about another 9 or 10 under contract.
Billy, out of all the businesses you could have opened, why choose to invest in the acai niche? What was your inspiration?
Well, I saw a lot of success in the market in other areas on the West Coast, and it was starting to gain popularity on the East Coast. And when investing in any new project or product or business, I'm always looking for a gap in the market that people aren't taking advantage of yet. And there just simply were no acai bowl shops in Brooklyn at the time. So I saw an opportunity to jump in ahead of everyone else. And that was the reason why I decided to go the acai bowl route as opposed to another food concept at the time.
So any aspiring entrepreneur knows that with opening a business comes a lot of adversity and doubt. How did you overcome all of that?
What I had to do from a very early stage of my life with other businesses and opening up this business was I had to retrain how I looked at it. So the way I retrained my brain was to say, don't measure success in dollars and cents. It doesn't matter what the business makes or doesn't make. It's all about the process. If you can take this experience, if you can learn from this experience, if you can gain a ton of knowledge and make a ton of connections and a ton of contacts in the industry and outside of the industry, whether or not this particular store and this particular business works is almost irrelevant. Right. Because it's the knowledge that you're gaining, and you only gain that knowledge and experience through trying.
What were some of the worst failures that you've experienced, and how did you rebound from that?
I had a really bad experience when I was on Wall Street.
And what were you doing for Wall Street?
Well, I was a retail stockbroker. So we were selling stocks, bonds, and different securities. And I was heavily invested in oil and gas, and oil and gas got crushed in mid to late 2015 into 16, and I wiped out a lot of my clients' money. It wiped out some family members' money that was invested alongside with what I was buying, and my own money. And I was really down and out and depressed about the whole situation because it wasn't just a learning experience this time, it was people's money.
Right.
And what I found got me and everyone through that situation was, number one, just being open and honest with everybody, communicating with everybody, talking to them about why this happened and what we can do to avoid this from happening in the future. And, looking for opportunities to make money back and to make smart investments, taking what happened, learning from it, and helping us diversify to mitigate risk. So It was a very low point in my life. I took a lot from it, and I think I handled it pretty well for being so young at the time, but it was definitely a very tough situation. But again, with communication and taking what happened and translating it into a learning experience, I came out better than before, and it's helped me not make those similar mistakes on a bigger scale.
Of course. Always learn from your mistakes. What makes Baya Bar different from the other guys?
We try to take a very transparent approach.
Not a lot of people do that.
Right, so people like to give a fake persona or a halo around whatever product or service they're providing. From the very beginning when we were building Baya Bar, I said, let's look at what the competitors are doing that are good, and let's amplify it, and let's look at what they're doing that we think is bad or not working, and let's avoid it. So one of the big things from the start for us as a brand, number one, we focus on the quality of the ingredients, the quality of the product, and number two, we worked on the portion, the size. I knew that if we offered a larger product with higher quality ingredients for the same price as my competitors, even though they had been around longer and their brands were more well known, we would eventually start stealing market share from them.
Mm-hmm. And do you think people care more about the quality of the product or the price?
I think nowadays, with the access to information through social media and the internet, people are caring more and more and more about the quality of what they're putting in their bodies and what they're buying and putting in their homes 100%. And so on and so forth. So I think it's a fine line of you want to offer a quality product, but you also want to be competitive and affordable.
Right.
So it's definitely a fine line. I think it depends on the product and the market. For specifically our product and our market, we want to be competitive in price, but offer high quality product.
What drives you to keep growing your business even in difficult times, such as right now?
Being an entrepreneur and being in love with being an entrepreneur, you fall more in love with the process, like I was mentioning earlier. You fall more in love with everything behind the scenes. So when you're going through the ups and downs, the ups are great. You know, you could be making a lot of money financially, gaining a lot of recognition, growing the brand in the correct direction. And then when you hit bad times, like we are in right now with this global pandemic, it really gives you an opportunity to see what you're really all about, to see what your company is all about. Are you built on a strong foundation? Do you have good people in place? Do you have good contracts set up, so on and so forth? So it really allows you to grow and learn, and it's not an easy time, but it's allowing us to take a step back and focus on the good things about our business and make some tweaks where we were maybe a little bit exposed.
Right. It's how you react to situations and events that happen around you that define who you are. So is there anything you do every single day that helped you get to where you are today?
To be honest, there's so many things going on at once, and there's so many different, balls that I'm juggling that I can't pinpoint one specific thing. I definitely think sleep and fitness are huge. Sleep is very underrated. There's a lot of guys and girls talking about it now, professionals that are saying, don't work all hours of the night and promote, I grind 18 hours a day, 19 hours a day. You need sleep, and you definitely need fitness. And sometimes you lose sight of those things because you are busy, and that's okay, that's natural. But it's always good to get back to that. One thing that I do every day is I make a list. For me personally, it just helps me prioritize and categorize what I need to get done and not forget what I need to get done. I think lists are just something that works for me.
Now, do you write that list on your phone or
I usually do it in my notes on my iPhone, and once in a blue moon I'll do it on pen and paper. I think I have a list today. I do.
All right, what's the list?
Checklist. Yeah, some basic things, nothing crazy, but that just shows you right there. I'm not BSing, I have the proof.
So were there any habits that didn't help you? Like, what were some bad habits that were bringing you down rather than bringing you up?
In the very beginning, one of my bad habits was I wanted to control everything.
Right.
I wanted to
do everything yourself?
Do everything myself. And what I figured out very quickly was, number one, you need help to grow a business. There's no one in the world that I've met or I've seen or I've read about that's grown a multi-million-dollar business or a multi-billion-dollar business, and they've done it completely by themselves. So you need to learn how to delegate. You need to learn how to bring on people that are smarter than you in certain areas, that can do things better than you. So that was one of the bad habits I had. I was trying to control everything around me and handle it all myself. And all that was doing was spreading myself too thin, stressing me out, and in turn affecting the business, my family relationships. So I realized, luckily, fairly quickly, that I needed to delegate and build a good team around me. And that's really assisted and helped in the growth of the company.
What is something that is non-negotiable for you? Like, what is something that you stand firmly by and that you would not change?
Good question. I think it's an easy answer. I would never change who I am. I would never sell my soul to the devil and change who I am as a person for the betterment of the business or for anybody. There's a lot of opportunities that are offered and afforded to people when you start, a successful business.
Right.
But if it doesn't fit in with your core values, your morals, I would stay away from it because you won't ever be happy.
Right.
So it's always just stay true to yourself. That is something that is tough because when you're trying to make money and you're trying to get started in life, whether you're old or young and you're trying to get a business off the ground, you're going to come face to face with decisions that you know aren't good for you or for the business long term, but short term they can help. And what I would urge everybody is do what is best for you and your family for the long term.
Would you say money doesn't change people, but exemplifies what's already there?
No, I think that there's some people who haven't tasted money before, and when they get that taste, it makes them feel good.
But what if they were like that the whole time, but they just didn't have the chance to show you?
I think everybody's different, and this again is a personal opinion. I think that everyone's different. I think it's all about what people are motivated by. If buying, 100 pairs of sneakers is what your thing is, great. For someone like me, it's not my thing. I wear baseball hats, I wear Nike sweatshirts most of the time. I do that because I'm comfortable. I'm moving around a lot. I like to.
That's who you are.
That's who I am.
Yep.
I don't need to put on a front. I don't need to flash anything. It's not what I'm about. What I'm about is building financial security so that I can create a safe financial blanket for my family and I, and enjoy things when I want to enjoy them. I don't want to be held back by money ever.
What do you guys think? Does money change people, or does it already exemplify what's already there? Let us know. What are some secret tips that you have applied that put you ahead of your competitors?
Again, I think it's just being transparent and honest with the customer. Anyone that I come in contact with, I say the same thing to them. I said, if there's any way that I can help you, if there's any way that I can make things better for you, easier for you, if you have any suggestions, please text me, please call me, fill me in. It's not me, it's all of us together. I think that a big thing for people when building a business is culture. You need to have a culture that is inclusive, and it can always get better, and you can always improve upon it, and I can improve upon it, and I need to improve upon it. But when you create a culture where your employees and your customers and everybody feel that you're being honest with them and they can be honest with you, it opens up a world of possibilities. When you screw up, when you make a big mistake, when you fuck something up and you're honest about it, and you're open with them.
Yeah.
When you do something good and you do something correct and you talk about it and you tell them about it, they're going to believe that it's true, because why would you lie to them? When that bad thing happened a month or a year ago, you were open and honest about it.
When you're honest with someone,
absolutely,
it builds the rapport, and the trust between those two people.
So that's one key thing, guys, is in any business that you're doing, just be honest with your customers and with your employees. And number two, another secret is, and Will's doing it, and this is why he's going to be successful, is document it. Document it. We live in a world now where everything is run on these, and people care more about process than product now. Process over product. So if you can teach people and educate people on good and bad and offer value and help people, they will follow you, watch you, buy your product, whatever the case may be. So a very undervalued thing and a very key ingredient to business nowadays is to document and show people your process.
Okay, so if there was one skill that you believe any entrepreneur should have developed or be developing right now, what would that skill be?
I think the answer is self-awareness.
How do you define self-awareness?
Knowing who you are as a person, knowing what you're good at and what you're not good at. You know, we were joking earlier, I know I'm not a good singer.
Mm-hmm.
There would be a lot of respect that people would have for me if I was working on becoming a singer day in and day out and making connections and networking and going to LA and meeting with the right people. But at the end of the day, if I just don't have a good voice, I don't have a good voice. So I'm only going to maybe get so far in the music industry. Mm-hmm. I think that goes for anything. I don't want that to be mistaken with don't follow your dreams. Don't ever do something you don't like, right? So I think it goes into 4 quadrants. There's shit that you like and that you're good at. There's shit that you like that you're bad at. There's things that you don't like that you're very good at. And there's things that you don't like that you're bad at. So don't like and you're bad at it, don't even think about it. Don't like but you're good at it, don't really think about it either, because if you don't like it, why waste time on something that you don't enjoy?
Right, and those things you can just use to build a team and have them take care of it. Someone that wants to do that stuff and is good at it.
Right.
So you don't have to do the things that you don't want to do.
Something that you're bad at but you really like, that's a hobby. Mm-hmm. Take that up as a hobby. You want to focus on the things that you like and you're good at. So you need to be self-aware. And if a business doesn't work, take it as a learning experience, not a failure.
100%. All right, Billy, bonus question.
All right.
Would you rather get a tattoo of a pineapple on your face or a monkey?
If I had to choose between a pineapple face tattoo or a monkey face tattoo.
Yeah, it could be like right on the cheek, like here.
Because I'm going chips all in and getting a face tattoo, I'm getting a monkey eating a pineapple.
That's great.
If I'm gonna have the face tat, I'm gonna do both.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. It's supposed to snow really heavily here in New York City.
Oh yeah.
Probably like an hour or 2. So Billy, is there any last piece of advice that you have for all the aspiring entrepreneurs that are watching this video right now? What would you say to them?
Guys, whatever business or product or service you want to start, just start it. Do not ask questions, okay? If you think that it's all about time and money, it's not, okay? If you don't have money, then you should get ready to invest your time. You can leverage your time and have someone else invest the money, sweat equity. If you have a ton of money but you don't have time, you can pay someone else to execute it for you. And if you have neither, then do it as a hobby to start and slowly start to build it up. Do it for 2-3 hours a night when you get home from work, when the kids are asleep, when you're not doing schoolwork or studying. Start it and start working on it. And don't be shy about making phone calls. One of the biggest things that I did in the beginning of starting my business was I called vendors from all over the state and all over the country, and I wrote down a ton of information. I learned a lot and I created great contacts. And guys, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. Will, you gonna throw up the Instagram?
Of course, I'm gonna leave everything down in the description.
DM
right here as well.
Guys, DM me. You can shoot me an email from my Instagram or from my website, billyloesch.com. We have a lot of great content coming out. We have a new vlog series that we're launching called Building Baya, and that's going to be tracking the journey of building a franchise company from the ground up. So feel free to reach out, ask any questions, follow-up questions. But please take that piece of advice. If you want to start that business, don't wait, start it. Either dedicate a lot of time, dedicate a lot of money, or dedicate some time on the side when you have it. Let that hobby build until it's a viable business, and then you can take it from there.
I'm gonna put Billy's information down in the description box below. You guys can reach out to him. You guys can reach out to me. Yeah, Billy, thank you for being here, for your time as well.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.